Hi, everybody. This is Maxine Taylor with my July 2020 astrological overview. And June was crazy, and July is going to be even crazier because, of course, we have July 4th and the full moon and all this kind of stuff. So let me tell you what's going on. The sun is in the very nurturing sign Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. It's a more emotional sign, very sensitive sign, and it is the sign that rules the United States. Okay. On the 22nd of July, it moves into great, grand, glorious Leo, which is ruled by the sun. Moon is mommy, sun is daddy. And it's a much more dramatic, creative, let's have fun, let's get going kind of sign. You'll see. Venus has gone direct, thank goodness, but it's still in the shadow of the retrograde. It's in Gemini. Venus is love and beauty and money, and it is the lesser benefic, which is a joke because there's nothing lesser about a benefic. It brings happiness and money and beauty and art, and it's in Curious. I got to be on the move because I get bored easily. Gemini. Okay. Mercury is still retrograde at the time I'm recording this, which is the very, very, very last day of June. It's going to go direct on July 12th. Now, you know, just before a planet goes direct, it's the last stand, so to speak, and avoid discussions with people right around the 12th. Wait a couple of days before you think of confronting someone or starting a fight with somebody, starting an argument. Now, I want to mention that both Venus and Mercury are still going to be in the shadow of their respective retrogrades. And if you haven't seen my video from 2019, Mercury retrograde, the prequel and the sequel, check it out, because I'm going to tell you what I said on that video very simply, and then you can see a whole lot more. Prior to Mercury or Venus or any planet that goes retrograde, before it goes retrograde, it sends out an announcement, so to speak. It's in the shadow of the retrograde. And this means that we feel the effects, quote unquote, feel and effects of the retrograde prior to the actual retrograde. And people say, is Mercury retrograde? Because it feels like it. We don't start any new projects on a retrograde Mercury, so you're not going to start a new project before July 12th, particularly something as important, let's say, as a marriage or a move, what have you. Instead, we tie up the loose ends of unfinished projects. Then after the 12th, Mercury will be in the shadow of its own retrograde. And it'll feel just like the retrograde cycle, but it's not. Watch your own life and see if the shadow has a stronger or lesser impact on you than the actual retrograde. Now, I'm going to give you those dates in a minute. Mars has moved out of Pisces, yay, and it is in its own sign of Aries. And you know, Mars in Aries says, I got to be busy all the time. I'm doing what I want, when I want, how I want, because I want. And I'm doing it my way. And I felt about 3 days ago when it left Pisces and moved into Aries, I felt it very strongly. Did you too? The energy was totally different because Mars is energy. It's what we fight with, fight for. It's what comes first to us. And as I go through your solar chart in the videos today that follow this video, we'll talk about Mars. Now, I want to mention to you these shadows because they're very important. Mercury will come out of the shadow of its retrograde on July 26th. Venus on the 28th. We've got to the very, very, very end of July. Now, you can still start new projects. If you can possibly wait, though, do so. Now, I got to mention that Mars in Aries on July 25th moves into the shadow of its retrograde motion, which is not going to be in July. And when Mars goes retrograde, the energy stops. It's like the world flatlines. There's no traction. It's like the air is still. Have you ever been out in your neighborhood, say early in the morning or late in the evening, and everything is still? Well, life goes on, of course, with the Mars retrograde, but there is a certain energetic stillness. All right, the retrograde, the shadow of the retrograde begins at the end of July on the 25th. All right. Now, my full moon ceremony, which I'm doing virtually now, because the Phoenix and Dragon is not holding classes. The full moon, which is an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, is on, in the Eastern time zone, it's on the 5th. However, as you move westward in the United States, it's on the 4th. It is the full moon lunar eclipse in 13 Capricorn 38. You're going to want to find that in your birth chart because on the full moon, that's when things come to a head. Now, I shifted topics. I was talking about my full moon ceremony. I haven't forgotten it. I just blew the sequence. I'm just starting at point A. 2 weeks later, the new moon on July 20th is in 28 Cancer 27. And the new moon is when energy begins. Okay, now my full moon ceremony will be on Friday. And I'm going to post it. Actually, it's going to be either Thursday or Friday. And I won't know until I actually sit down to do it, when it will be ready. I hope you will be joining me. Just check my YouTube channel because it will be posted there. I do a version of my magical ceremony, which has always been very powerful, very beautiful, and all inclusive. So we've got the full moon on the 4th or 5th, depending on where you live, and the new moon on the 20th. And then I will post my full moon ceremony, as I said, probably Thursday of this week. In other words, let's see, in 2 days. 2 days. Notice my math skills, how awesome they are. Anyhow, if you're on my mailing list, of course, I'm going to be sending out a message. So I look forward to seeing you whenever. If you would like a reading of any type, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. Order the reading or readings that you would like. And as soon as I get your order, I will get back to you. The turnaround time now is about a week to 10 days, but I will not forget you. So Till we meet again, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours.